Valley, pushing 70 degrees. Yes, depending on where you are. Barrett's got his salmon shirt on. I like that. D Gunn has been
Cabela's, baby. Cabela's,
doing his
baby.
yard work. He's got his Cabela's on.
Hey, look, man.
I got my Sixers on because they're back at it tonight. I'm excited, man. What's going on, guys?
He has put in the work.
You know,
so we can go on now.
I was just about to say, first of all, every time I see that dang spot now, I start laughing because this knucklehead has made fun of it for I don't know how long. So I can't even look at the spot anymore without starting laughing because of that knucklehead right there.
Oh my God.
And secondly, how frustrating is it when something technology-wise breaks down and you go through the steps that doesn't make sense? I got cameras around my house, so one of them keeps saying offline.
But you want to keep me out.
They're called it's called the Brooks cam.
Yeah,
that's what we call it.
The only reason
the right side of the house is the Brooks cam. The front side of the house is the Xander cam, and the garage side is the Rob Ellis cam.
That's fitting. Yeah.
The backyard camera, that's the all community cam.
I thought I would get the outhouse cam. That's what
we ain't put one in there yet, man.
He only wants you over there where you can do some manual labor for him. Then he'll let you over.
But I follow the steps. I put the camera on the charger. It works fine. I put it back up on the mount on the right side of the house. Keep saying offline. It's been doing this for a week. So I call the company. You know, guy's trying to be nice, help me through it. I can't understand half of what he's saying.
It's a struggle, man. When they outsource
and I'm trying to be nice.
Countries, it's hard.
I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah, it's hard.
I hear it again. There goes that damn alarm again.
What alarm?
I don't know what it is.
You know what that is, Rob? CTE is slowly creeping in, man. He started to hear bells and whistles. That's the first sign. I'm telling you.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. It is what it is, bro. I hear it, man. I hear it. Rob, you heard it one time, didn't you?
I heard it. Yeah, I heard it the other day. Yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
It comes on 12. Why does it come on at 12 o'clock? I need to figure out where this alarm is.
I think it's an Apple Watch. How long has this been happening?
It started on Monday.
It started on Monday.
Let me find it real fast.
Is it buzzing now? Because we can't hear it.
All right, hold on.
Can you hear it, Rob?
No, I don't hear it now, but I did hear it the other day. It sounds like, I'm telling you, it sounds like video games, or it sounds like
really?
You know, like if you walk into an arcade, you hear like a pinball machine going,
right.
like that weird music that's what it sounds like. I don't know.
Did you hear it since we came on the show?
No, I haven't heard it. I have not heard, and he heard it yesterday, and I didn't hear it either.
I haven't heard it at all. But he's been complaining about it all week. So, I think it's big birds.
DG made it funny. It's the water heater. He said like it was my problem yesterday.
It's a water heater.
Yeah, that was my problem yesterday. Oh, it's a watch. Is that what it is?
Whose watch is it?
It's got to be your daughter with the pink, right?
No, I guarantee you. I've seen Barrett wear watches like that.
It's not mine. I don't have an Apple. This is an Apple
that
watch.
Wouldn't even fit around his wrist, man.
Right. And look what time it says.
7:30.
Yeah, so it's been going off since 7:30.
Oh my God.
Whose watch is it?
It's Sandra's watch, man.
Well, how did you know how to stop it?
Yeah, I stopped it. Stop now.
So wait a minute. It's been doing this all week, and she hasn't asked for it, or
no? Because they're upstairs.
No, I'm just saying she hasn't. At any point during the week, hey, my watch is missing. Has anybody seen it?
That's great. Why is it in my office?
There you go. She might have been snooping around for some. Hey, look, I ain't trying to start no.
Man, you are really.
I ain't trying to mess with anybody's marital bliss.
Man.
But I'm saying, Barrett,
what are you trying to do?
Have you given her suspicion? Are you hiding something that she's been looking for? Oh, so you admit there could be something you're hiding. See, Rob, I'm deep undercover investigator, man. You should know this by now.
Yeah,
bro.
I get to the bottom of stuff.
You're a husband.
Yes.
So you can't hide anything, so stop it.
I'm good. I'll tell you what I'm good at, hiding Christmas gifts. That's the only thing I can hide.
Well, you're hiding the kid, but you can't hide it from your wife, though.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
I don't try to hide, bro. I mean,
I don't either.
I'll
hide them initially when I first get them home for a sec. But first of all, I say, give me a list of what you want.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
So it's not like there's no big surprise of what's coming usually.
I just give money.
Yeah.
No, but see, here's the thing.
Gift, it never works.
It gets returned. Yeah.
Here's the thing. My wife will ask, like I told you guys, my wife will start asking in late October everybody's Christmas wish list. So she thinks that I normally don't pay attention to what she's putting out there. So what I do is I wait. I have to strategically wait to get things delivered I want to make sure she's home. See, so I'll go to my girls and say, okay, what did you guys get, Mom?
Yeah.
And then I'll look at what's left on the list. And this past Christmas, they left me the big items. A treadmill. It's like a mini treadmill for our office. This desk that you can stand at. You know, these desks that people like to work at where you can stand up and work or either sit down. And it has a button on it. It rises and up and down. So I got her that. The mistake I made, I bought her 3 things that were heavy. And they did come when she wasn't here. But I had to go outside by myself and lift them. And man, I think I had a hernia. I think I still have one. They keep telling me, would you please go get the x-ray? My doctor keeps telling me, go get the x-ray. I ain't going to get the x-ray.
That was right around the time you invited me over to your house, wasn't it? When I couldn't come. Yeah, when I was out there, you know, wiping barnacles off my boat. That's when you asked me to come. That's what it was. So.
Hold on. Stop right here. CD Love. Gunner's ribs are second to the McRib sandwich. Man, look, man. He
has no shot.
Look. Let me tell you something.
No shot to ever get your ribs down.
If CD Love was a blood relative, you ain't never getting your butt back in my house again. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You can insult me in many different ways. You can talk about me being follically challenged, call me ugly, wear glasses, too dark, whatever you want to call. You don't mess with my ribs, bro. Because I cut a brother.
Yeah, that was personal.
I'll tell you that right now.
That was personal, right?
Yeah, you know, that's straight down. You know, that's right out the Nino Brown book right there, man. You talking about somebody ribs, man. You know, hey,
that was personal, bro. That was personal.
Yep. Well,
you try to cut a brother deep.
Tell me, man. 8 minutes into the show, shots fired.
No, Duck, it wasn't rude, man. I don't care, bro. I'm just joking. I'm just playing.
We'll keep moving.
I don't take nothing personal. These dudes know me. I don't take nothing personal.
I know. And we see everybody in the chat section. What's up, guys? Good to see you and gals. Thanks for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it as always. We'll be fielding some questions from the chat section a little bit later,
but not from CD Love.
Not from CD. He's done. He lost his question privilege today. That's done.
He gone.
He gone.
Bird is saying what? Dolphins moving from Tua. Where'd this come from? I ain't heard this.
What is this?
Dolphins moving from Tua.
And Caleb Williams can't come out anyway. He's a sophomore. He's a true sophomore.
Right,
so He's not in the draft for whatever it's worth. The USC quarterback.
Right.
So that ain't happening this year, unless they're doing it for they're already plotting for next year, which they're not going to do. They're going to try and win this year. We have EJ Smith coming up at 1:00 from the Inquirer. We'll get EJ's thoughts on the coaching search, on the free agency, on what went on and what went down with the Super Bowl. Because, guys, we got a little news right before we came on here. Vance Joseph is going to the Broncos as their defensive coordinator. So a couple things. One, he interviewed Tuesday and Wednesday with the Eagles. He had previously interviewed with the Broncos. This is kind of strange, guys. He was the Broncos head coach in 27 and 18. That's
weird. That's weird.
And now he goes there as the defensive coordinator?
Right.
Well, let's see. Jim Leonard ain't walking through that door.
We know that.
Joseph ain't walking through that door. Rex Ryan didn't get the job.
Oh.
Would you take Rex here?
No. Let's hope
with his pearly white teeth.
I know you guys like him. No, thank you. No.
Well, wait. What don't you like about Rex? What did Rex do to you, Rob?
He's got a foot infatuation. That's all.
He does like feet.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with you? He's not going to be rubbing your feet.
No, he's not. That's correct.
I'm just saying that's the only thing wrong with him.
What do you mean? Barry,
I like the way he calls defenses.
Barry, you got a foot infection too. I mean, nobody talk about that.
What are we talking about, Derek?
I'm just saying you have to look past certain little things.
Yeah, I don't get the foot thing, by the way.
I've never understood that myself.
That's a weird move.
Ain't nothing wrong with feet, dog. Come on.
No, I didn't say anything. No, I'm saying there's foot infliction. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
People like
Rex Ryan. Let's get back to Rex Ryan.
No, you brought it up.
I'm just saying that's the only thing wrong. Rex Ryan can call defenses. I love the way he calls defenses.
Would you have him here in Philly?
Could he fit in the culture? He's one of those guys that I really believe that he would kind of be magnified.
Push the button.
Yeah, and he wouldn't, downplay who he is in this organization, which might be a problem with the way they run things here in Philadelphia.
So he's been out of it for a while, guys. He hasn't coached since 16. I mean,
wow.
Right.
So you're saying that he could be bigger than the program? Hello?
Yes, Derek. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like he might grow up to be bigger than Nick Sirianni, the head coach.
Yes, yeah.
So
or bigger than Howie?
Hey, maybe. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get who he wants.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't shy from voicing his opinion. I mean,
There you go. That's another one.
I don't see them bringing in a personality like that.
Right. So are we looking at Denard Wilson staying and being the defensive coordinator?
Denard Wilson,
Desai.
Chris Shula, Jesse Minter, Sean Desai, but I don't know if they've interviewed Sean Desai.
I don't either. The dude from Georgia.
Schumann from Georgia. That's everything we know right now. Yeah, and we'll talk to EJ about that at 1. But I'm sure. Here's the thing. I bet you there's others we don't know about.
Yeah, I know. I mean, nobody knew about Nick. And
right?
They went and interviewed like 10 guys, and he might have been the 10th guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They interviewed. I mean, I like that they're doing the due diligence, but man, they don't have much of that, man. They were in the Super Bowl.
I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, they were in the Super Bowl, so you don't get that time. You know, scouts are out right now, going out and interviewing players and looking at players. Free agency is in less than 3 weeks. There's a small amount of time that they have to go out there and really make some things happen. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you do? Do you continue to push this on, or do you go what you have in house? And you know, it's funny. You know, the offensive side of the ball. I mean, it's already foregone conclusion that Brian Johnson is the offensive coordinator because they brought nobody else in.
Yeah.
So we know that's the case. But who are they bringing in as far as a quarterback coach now?
Here's the only problem I have, Barrett, with going with somebody in the house, and this is not a knock against that person. I think you need somebody who's willing to be a team player, but not afraid to voice their opinion or back down from Howie.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
So a Rex Ryan, a Seth Joyner type are those people that will not back down. You know, they whether they win or lose the argument, they're going to voice their opinion. I don't know if Denard is that kind of guy. I mean, might make a suggestion and back off. So you know what, do what you want to do. You know, I don't know. I don't know anything about this dude's character, makeup, you know, whatever the case may be. But I hope they bring somebody with a bigger pedigree for their defense.
You're right, Doug. You're right.
You call me Doug?
No. You're right, D-Gun. But the thing is, it's not just the defensive coordinator they have to replace.
I know.
They have to replace the quarterback coach.
Yep.
They got to bring in another, you know, I think Joe Casper.
Linebacker coach.
Yeah, linebackers, you know. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys that they have to replace, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, this, you know, time is of the essence right now. We need to get a new a new quarterback coach, a new linebacker coach.
Yeah.
Another defensive system we got to bring in. Wasn't there one more guy that's left?
You're going to need a QB, an OC, a DC. Linebacker. You said linebacker.
I said linebacker. One dude went to Arizona.
And there's a guy that went to went down to Miami.
One went to Miami.
Joe Casper.
Joe Casper.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, he's with Miami now. Yeah. So it's not like we don't have enough time. When you're a Super Bowl champion, when you're in the Super Bowl, you play in the Super Bowl. You got. I mean, it just narrows how much time you have to get ready.
Yeah, it's on you fast, man.
Yeah. Right now, fast. I mean, the combine is actually on Monday.
Yes.
The combine's on Monday. They got free agency in less than 2 weeks after that. I mean, what are they doing? We got to go, man. They got to pay the quarterback still, or else they're not going to be able to sign anybody, or they got to sign cheap people. You know, so I don't know, man.
The problem with success is once the Super Bowl is over, you're picking off what's left over because all of the people that are really wanted are gobbled up during the playoffs because those teams aren't in the playoffs anymore. See, so now you're taking what's left over. But I'll tell you what was left over was Nate, Lovie Smith, Rex Ryan, Desai. So there's some good names out there. It's not bad names out there. But Ryan, I doubt if they would bring in like you guys said. Well, look, now Joseph is gone. You hear what I kind of like what John Dickerson said though. Michael Clay for DC.
Oh my!
All these comedians out of work, and he want to crack jokes. I mean, look, you know, Mr. Rody Poo. That's pretty good. Appreciate you too.
Where is he?
Rudy Poo.
Mr. Rudy. Man, you need to change that name, bro. What
Mr. Rudy Poo.
Rex Ryan would be
I'm sorry. What does Buddy have to do with anything at this point?
Well, I mean, old. He was the
Oh my
guy.
God,
that brought
and he's
in.
been gone, but he's been gone for 30.
The city would embrace him, though. He's right about that. The city would
They would.
embrace him.
Yeah, they would. Yep. I don't know.
The real RMP, Glenn Schumann from
Mhm.
Georgia. He's a young guy too, man. He's like 30 years old.
Yeah.
32 years old. Does he know enough? Yeah, he had some success at the college level, but I don't know.
They're not afraid to bring in young guys anymore.
Well, as
around the league.
I don't know. I'm kind of gun shy with really young guys right now.
Yeah.
I mean, because right now, Michael Clay, he's young, and I don't mean to always talk, bad about him. I'm not talking bad about him. I just tell the truth about him.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is his special teams aren't playing well enough and they're not playing at a high enough level. If you don't have the players you need on special teams, then, that's on you. You got to make them better somehow. You got to figure out a scheme that you can, compete with the guys that you have there. You don't get an excuse. You don't get another, he's getting another year. I didn't think he was going to get another year because I think that they performed at, such a poor level that they might have needed to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But the truth is they just have not performed at a level that's good enough to compete in the NFL. I don't care who you have there. You develop a scheme that will make them better. You got to do whatever it takes. You got to go out there and feed them hot sauce and gunpowder, whatever it takes.
Yeah. Now, listen, I hear you. I think this year, if the special teams performs poorly again this year, people are going to start losing their minds.
I said that last year.
Yeah.
And we were losing our mind this year.
Yeah, I think, but because everything else went so well, and
it got hit, yeah.
The offense looked great. It got hit. It's not going to get hit this year because the schedule's going to be tougher. You're not going to win as many games. I hate to break it to everybody. They're not going to win. They're not going to be 14-3 to end the regular season with this schedule and with some of the guys you're going to lose. So everything's going to be that much more exposed. It just is. So we'll see. But that's it's kind of weird, but I get it. I mean, Vance Joseph probably looks at it like new owner, new GM, working for Sean Payton.
Yeah. Why would you go back to where you fired, though?
I personally would have a tough time.
It's not to say, and the owner's not there.
I know.
Yeah, if he looks at it like it's a whole new regime, they're not the people that let me go. That's how he justifies
it.
And they probably give a real nice check, too.
Yeah, coordinator money is a lot better than position coach money.
Mm-hmm. Well, and at the end of the day, you have a guy that knows the city, was there for a long time, and the bones that he has in that defense, pretty daggone good. That was a pretty good defense.
There's talent on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent on that defense. So why wouldn't he come in like that? And hence, that's why I said yesterday, he's doing a Zoom meeting from Denver. That's all but the kiss of death right there. That means he's staying in Denver. He's not even going to make the trip. He didn't want to make the trip. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying where I am.
Yeah.
They didn't want to let him go. They gave him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, I guess so. So he stays there. That's one, another candidate crossed off there from an Eagles standpoint. But we got a bunch of other stuff. Sixers back at it tonight. They're playing Memphis, guys, which is going to be a real nice test. No Steven Adams for Memphis. That's going to be a good one tonight. Phillies have their first exhibition game on Saturday. It's a split squad. That'll be Saturday at 1:00. Flyers tomorrow taking on the Canadiens. And we'll see what they can do. Frank Reich, by the way. You know what, Tone, let's have that clip ready to roll here. So Frank Reich was on the National Football Show yesterday with Dan Cilio. And look, we had speculated when Frank was let go in Indianapolis that the Eagles may bring him on as a consultant or something like that. So here is Frank with Dan yesterday confirming that he did have some conversations with the Eagles.
Couple last questions, Coach. I know you got to get back to work. I'm going to throw this at you here. If you didn't take the Carolina Panther job, was there any conversation with the Eagles and yourself about potentially taking an advisory role?
I know. I talked to a couple teams about possible coordinator jobs. But yeah, no, I definitely had a conversation with Nick. Because of my love for Nick and my love for the Eagles organization, there was discussion about that. But thankfully that didn't have to. We didn't have to.
Really? Now you're the head coach of Carolina. I mean, and with the richest owner in the league, I'm pretty cool with that too for you. Couple last questions, Coach. I know you got to get back.
All right. Well, there you go. So confirming that they did have a conversation, you would expect that. I mean, we know how Nick feels about him, and we know how Frank feels about this city. It makes perfect sense. If that's the case, if Reich would have come back, you could take that down, Tone. Thanks. If he would have come back, Brian Johnson's probably gone. He's probably gone somewhere else to be an offensive coordinator.
Probably so. Yeah.
No question. He was getting wooed before the season was even over, and then when you're in the Super Bowl, it's all but a foregone conclusion that we'd have lost him.
It's intriguing though, right? The possibility of Wright coming back here would have been pretty intriguing. But
yes, it would have. Yes, it would have.
Yeah,
but I still like Brian Johnson. I really think that he's going to fit in well, and this offense will be very, very, very productive.
Yeah.
With him at the helm. He's a very talented young coach. Everywhere he's gone, he's had, guys have put up huge numbers. They've been very successful in the offensive side of the ball. So I think it's a match that's been made a long time ago in heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like a, almost a destiny type of thing that he'd be working with Jalen. He'd be working in the capacity of really making this kid great. So I like it. Is almost pushing towards Denard Wilson being the defensive coordinator. Would he be more aggressive? We don't know. Would it be a bend but don't break system like it was with Gannon? I don't know. Just in seeing, Denard coach in his coaching style, he has an aggressive coaching style, the way he coaches his players. He challenges those guys all the time. He's not afraid to get up in anybody's face. I've seen him go out there and he and Slay have, passionate conversations while on the football field. You know what I'm saying? And they, he challenges guys. And I like that, because you want to challenge your best player by making him great. And once those younger guys see Slay playing at a great level because he's been challenged by Denard Wilson, it just makes them want to play even harder. I know he's made Avonte Maddox play out of his mind when he's healthy. When he's healthy, I did not know that Avonte Maddox was that good.
Yeah.
When he's on the field, he is really good. But I need him more aggressive. I'm tired of the passiveness that we have. No more of this passive stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want corners that are going to play up in your face.
Oh,
I need that. I need that.
Oh, see, Rob, he's thinking like D Gun. See, I like that.
And I'm not saying blitz. You don't have to blitz.
No, I ain't say that. You don't have to
But
blitz.
just be more aggressive, a more aggressive style. But see, the same thing can make you laugh, make you cry, because you play a more aggressive style. You're more apt to get beat by the long ball. You're more apt to get beat for big plays. So it's a double-edged sword, man. You know what I'm saying? Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, but when you have an offense like the Eagles, which is a similar offense to what Kansas City has, I mean, I can't emphasize this enough. We saw Kansas City's DBs getting toasted in the Super Bowl. We saw Kansas City's DBs getting burnt against Jacksonville and Cincinnati. They didn't back off one bit. They kept playing their style of play. They're not a dominant defense. They're an opportunistic defense. All we need you to do is get us a couple of stops over 60 minutes. That's all we need. And that's what that defense did. Look at how the Super Bowl unfolded. They got a couple of stops early in that third and fourth quarters to allow Kansas City's offense to get back in that game. Okay? And Kansas City identified at halftime, here's how we attack the Eagles, and they can't stop us. And oh my goodness, they could not stop them one bit. So the opportunistic defense of getting them off the field several times is the reason why that offense was able to come back, pull even, and eventually go down the field, even on the defining moment of the game. All you had to do was get a fourth down away. They couldn't even do that. You got peg leg Patrick Mahomes running 26 yards down the field. They couldn't even do that. By the second touchdown, in the third quarter.
He's the best player in football, but he's peg leg. I like
who? He was playing on one ankle. Did you see him flopping around like a fish?
BS, he was playing on one leg. He was fine.
Well, hey, how about, did you guys hear about it?
It was all nonsense. That whole freaking act was
fake
nonsense.
News?
So suddenly when he needs to hit that gear, he can hit it?
He did it against Cincinnati too.
Come on,
right. That's what
exactly.
I'm saying. Now, I told you what it was.
deserved an Academy Award for some of
Okay,
that.
hold
no,
on.
no.
He goes over to the sideline and he's on the coach's shoulder. Like, come on, man. And then in the third quarter, when you need to dig and cut on that ankle, you're fine. What
Right.
happened? Either they gave him the greatest stuff I've ever seen at halftime.
Well,
or he
how about
wasn't
that? Did you hear anything
Let's
about
be real.
that?
No, and I've tried to get some information out of my boys in Kansas City. They ain't talking.
Well, what is it, man? He evidently took some stuff that's not necessarily legal. I mean, it's
I don't know about that.
Let me
I
tell you
didn't say
something.
that.
Let me tell you something. I will say this. Rick Burkholder is as honest as the day is long. Rick Burkholder ain't about to put nothing in nobody's body that's going to be borderline illegal. Rick Burkholder is the head, like one of the premier heads of the NFL Athletic Trainers Association.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of pride in what he does. Rick ain't. I'm gonna tell you, Rick ain't cheap.
I'm
Rick
not
he hit a
accusing-
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, this is.
He's
I'm
my
not
head.
talking. I'm not talking anything illegal. I'm just telling you one of two things happened. Either he wasn't that bad, or they gave him, which is not. It's fine. You give him some help, but one of something happened there.
Well,
Okay,
it
let's
was
go back
all
to
gamesmanship.
let's go back to the Jacksonville game. When we all saw that ankle get rolled, how many times have we seen players' ankles get rolled like that, and they're out 2, 3, 4 weeks with these high ankle sprains? Okay.
Yeah.
He came back in. I don't know what they did. Came back in, finished that game. He limped through most of the game against Cincinnati. All of a sudden, one play, he got that burst and took off down the sideline and helped put them in prime field goal position. He did it twice against the Eagles. He did it one time and got inside the 5-yard line to set up a touchdown. And then he did it again on that defining drive for 26 yards. Barrett, you talk about all the time, man. Sometimes adrenaline is the best medicine there is.
Bro, I'm not even gonna hate, man. I mean, I'm not saying it. What I'm gonna say is this: he's the best player in football.
Yes.
Period. He's the best player in football, and he played his butt off to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
So I mean, that's all I'm gonna say, man. I'm
I
not gonna
agree.
say he took any wonder drugs. I'm not gonna say that he was playing possum. I'm not gonna say anything, but he was the star. He won and willed that team to win. So I just can't hate him. I give him much props, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't.
Much
Here's the
props to
thing.
him.
I definitely think that the second half there was. You should have done something different. Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they did.
Right,
They
but
did something different.
Yes.
No doubt. And they got outcoached across the board, I thought. But at some point, we let the players off the hook with this.
Yeah.
Everything's
You're
gathered.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
not everything.
You got to make a
No.
play.
No,
Yeah,
but
you're right. You're right.
the
You
two
know.
touchdowns with the jet motion, you know, the reverse jet
That's
motion.
inexcusable.
That's if you got your man, you got to have a man. If you got man to man, and you know you got him man to man, he goes to the sideline. He wants some Gatorade. You got to hand him the cup.
Yeah.
You can't be looking somewhere else. You can't be looking at nobody else. You have your guy. He goes in motion. He goes in. He stops. You got to stop. He goes back out. You got to follow him back out. That was completely on the back of those players. The players should have played their guy man to man. I'm not talking about switching nobody up. I'm not talking about doing anything. But if it's your man, and you know, my boy Ron Jaworski call it got man. Got man. That's what he call it. Got what he calls it. Got you. Got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. And that's where you're supposed to play. I got you. You got to get your guy. And they didn't do it. They looking everywhere else but their guy. You got to get your guy, man. It's on the biggest stage. Play your role. Play your position. Play who you have. If I got a double team to the second level, I'm a double team to the second level. If I got to go through my reads as a quarterback, I'm going to go through my reads. You got to play what you are coached to play. And that motion, that should have been fundamentally sound football because they had man-to-man coverage. Play your man.
Yeah.
D coordinator can do nothing about that.
Yeah.
Now the first time
it's easy to just point everything at Gannon, which
Right.
people want to do all the time. Look, he wears it too. But you're right, Barrett. I mean, come on, you've seen this stuff. You saw it earlier.
Yep.
To be honest with you, I've
And
watched
Slay looked terrible on that second one, by the way.
the Slay touchdown in particular. I've watched that thing 4 times. And a
Madison.
lot of times this happens when a DB starts, when a receiver goes in motion, the DB starts pointing, the secondary shifts, which means you change coverage.
Yeah.
You know, okay. I don't think, and a lot of times the DB will follow him all the way across the field. I don't think Slay would have got through the congestion in time had he even kept in motion, to be honest with you. The way they were stacked up on the back end. Now, Avonte Maddox, I don't know why he came down and in. I'm still trying to figure that out. He came down and in to stop.
Yeah.
No, Slay kind of arced back more.
Because
And
he
was
still
pointing.
got him man to man though. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He's still got that guy man to man. He was pointing, telling him, hey, watch it over there. But in the midst of him saying, hey, watch it over there, he got too deep.
Yeah, he did
on the play, and you got to get back out. He gets back out, you got to get back out.
Yeah,
Maddox the same thing. If he goes inside, he follow him inside. He goes back out. You got to haul ass back out. You can't be that far behind. And you know, I understand field conditions, but no, both of those plays, those two guys were lost. Both Slay and Maddox were lost. How do you get lost when you got a guy man to man? It doesn't matter what coverage it is. If it's man to man, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. You stick your man. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. You got to stay on your man.
Let me ask you this, something we haven't thought of, and you guys have heard me say this last week and early this week. Bradbury's not walking back through that door.
Yep.
If they do trade Slay, could you see Maddox as one of your starting corners?
Man, he's so good in that.
Yes.
I'm worried about, but I'd be worried about him being able to stay on the field.
I'm more concerned about matchup height for height.
Yeah, I like him in the
6'3",
slot.
6'5".
Really like him.
I'm just saying, don't rule that out. Also, he could be one of your starting corners.
He could play starter. He could stay out there. I'm not worried about size because he has big guys that are inside in the that are big. He playing against their inside also.
I get it.
He's not. I mean, he plays when you're in the slot. You got to play against bigger tight ends. You know, you play against bigger guys on the inside than you do on the outside. On the outside, at least he knows he's going to get a guy that he can run with, and they're not usually as physical on the outside as they are on the inside. When you play on the inside, it's a physical game. You got to be a man playing that slot corner because you have guys doing everything. You're trying to get off blocks. You know what I'm saying? You got to fill and have your run fit in the within the defense when you're playing that slot position. So slot position is a lot harder. Maybe it'll be better if you play it on the outside because it's not as physical on the outside.
But see, usually your slot receivers are like the Randall Cobb, Pascal size. You know, my concern is when you go to the outside, these dudes are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". You got a lot of Randall Cobbs and Pascals playing slots. But you're right, you do have to match up at times against tight ends who are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". That's a little different. Plus, they're more physical than wide receivers. You know, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm not trying to stir up anything. People are losing their minds already. No, I don't want to see Avante on the outside. I'm just saying, don't rule out that possibility. He may start outside until they get somebody acclimated. Some new person could be a draft pick acclimated, and then he put him back in the slot.
I do like McPherson. You know, from the stream, I do like McPherson. Yeah. I think he's, you know, given an opportunity, I think he's going to be okay. You know what I mean? As a starter, it's different when you got live bullets coming at you every single play.
Right.
We'll say, we give a young man a chance. Give Josh Jobe a chance. Josh Jobe, he played against the best in the country, you know what I'm saying, at Alabama. You know what I mean? He was hurt the entire time this year, so he really get an opportunity to show what he can do on the field. We'll see. But I will say this. A lot of these young guys got to put up or shut up.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
I hear
if what Barrett is saying is true in terms of backups now stepping up to prominent roles, we know there's going to be a drop-off to a certain degree.
Absolutely.
Somewhere, somehow.
Yes.
I could see us, not just us, but the media and this market in general, screaming every week about mistakes being made on that side of the defense if you have to go with that many young players, the Davion Taylors, the Jobes.
He's not a young player anymore. Let's
his third year. Okay, he's going into his fourth year.
Yes, let's take that acronym off him. He's not a player anymore. Got to put up or shut up or.
He's young by age, old. He's a mature man by NFL standards.
Right. Yes. He is. Yes.
Okay.
He should be ready to roll now.
But then on top of that, if those guys move up, what are you replacing them with?
Yeah.
Even a younger group?
That's a good. Well, but this is where I think we're automatically assuming they're not going to be able to get somebody else. You know, whether it's a free agent or make a trade or whatever. I mean, I hear you. I mean, look, this is a problem, man. They're going to be losing a lot of good players.
But Rob,
to be honest, Rob, I just think after you give Jalen his money, and you target who you're going to keep with big money, if it's CJ or CJ/Hargrave, you ain't got a whole lot of money left to go out and get
I
these
know.
premier. You're gonna have to start picking off. You're gonna start picking off a lot more because they're white
You don't
and
have to
players
find
like
a
that.
hidden gem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hidden gem.
Well, Rob.
Yeah.
D-Gun.
Mm.
You draft players so they can play for you.
Yep.
These guys, they've had their time, sitting back and watching. It's time to put up or shut up, man. It's time to go out there and play.
Yep.
I'm tired of sitting back and saying, all right, you don't draft guys just to be special teams players. You draft them for the potential of playing either defense or offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's time for them to come out there. But even Sean Bradley, I need him to step up. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty good when he was at Temple.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
We need to see what he can do now at the NFL level.
Yeah,
Josh Jobe, see what he can do at the, McPherson. He was at Penn State, left there, went to Texas Tech, played well. Given an opportunity, I need to see what he can do.
Well, the Eagles better be right that they're worthy of an opportunity. You better be right that those guys are worthy of a chance. That's all. In your talent evaluation. All right, let's come back and let's dig in a little bit here, guys, with what the priorities should be for 10 and 30 in the draft, which the Eagles hold right now. We'll do that. We'll look at some of the competition in the NFC for them. And again, EJ Smith coming up at 1:00. All right, don't go anywhere. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let me tell you about Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group. Yes, knowing who to trust with your finances can be a very scary proposition. And I can tell you from personal experience that I found someone that I trust and you could trust as well. And that's Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group. Whether it's retirement planning, 401k review, insurance review, you might have a small business, you're trying to get your employee benefits off the ground, or if you're just not sure about something, he's a great resource. He's someone to bounce things off of, ask. He'll steer you in the right direction. Even if it's something that's confusing to you, he'll explain it and you'll know exactly what's going on. I've entrusted my IRA, my 401k rollovers with Jim, and I couldn't be any happier. You will be too. Give him a call, 610-996-4751. 610-996-4751. You can email him, Murray, Murray.Jim@principal.com. That's Murray.Jim@principal.com.